What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome into the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. I'm Harrison Graham. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Rumble. Gonna take all your questions. Victory Monday after a dominant win over the Cardinals in Week 1 out in the desert. Let's go. Let's get after it. 1-0. Let's get this party started. Shout out your city. Let us know where you're watching from, and we'll get some shout outs as we get the audience built up a little bit here. Get those cities in the chat. Got producer Trace riding shotgun with me. He's ready to go, so let's bring it here on an Overreaction Monday. The weekend says, Dallas, where you at? Let us know. Tigard, Oregon is where JJ is. We got Hazel in Sykeston, Missouri. JD in Rochester, New York. Matt in Knoxville, Tennessee. Go Vols, VOLS. PS4 says, Como. We got Joaquin in Lubbock, Texas. You know he's a Patrick Mahomes fan. St. Joseph, Missouri, home of the Chiefs training camp from Mike. That is. Joplin, Missouri is where Jesse is. U.S. Mail in Springfield. We got Lee in Grandview. Jeremiah is in Palmer Lake, Colorado. Let us know where you guys watching from, Kingdom. We got Kevin in Gorilla Beef. Blake C says Como. We got Michael in Springfield, Illinois. Jay, Northeast Missouri. We got Brian in Olympia, Washington. God's country, north of the river in Kansas City is where Don Look is watching from. Achilles says Toronto. Aiden in Overland Park. People all over there. Little Rock, Arkansas. Producer Trace went to University of Arkansas. Woo, pig. North Bergen, New Jersey. What's good? What's good, Snoozy? What's up? What's going on? All right, let me know. I'm just curious. It's 1 week, but they look pretty damn good. Are the Chiefs the best team in the NFL? Type Y for yes. Type in for no. I want to know. Who is the best team in the NFL if it's not the Chiefs? If you're typing no, let me know. Y for yes, in for no. Are the Chiefs the best team? Jackson says yes. So does Jeremiah. JJ saying yes. Joaquin saying yes. Let us know. Best team in the NFL, yes or no? Mike says yes. Michael saying yes. Not seeing any no's yet. Johnny's in Palm Bay, Florida. That sounds nice. Let's see. What are you guys saying? Jay Keeley says yes. U.S. Mail says yes. Could be from Don. Yeah, definitely could be. It's Aiden saying yes. We got U.S. Mail saying yes. The Weekend says yes. I haven't seen a single no. PS4 says Buffalo still looks better. Buffalo would be the only other team I would say is in that conversation. I think those are the top two teams right now. Aiden spamming yes. You know he's believing in the Chiefs. Possibly I only watch the Chiefs, so I'm biased. Hey, fair enough, fair enough. Biased fans here at the Chiefs Report. All right, who you got? Thursday Night Football, Kansas City, L.A. Should be a fun one, the first Amazon Prime video game of the season. Type KC for the Chiefs. Type LAC for the Chargers. This is going to be a fun matchup on Thursday Night Football. Well, it's the new Thursday Night crew. Herb Street's the color guy, and Al Michaels. Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit, so that should be fun. Aiden going with KC. Jackson, we got Jackson and JJ going with KC. Brian is as well. Don Luke says KC. We got Mike saying KC. Jeremiah. Joaquin says KC. Jackson says 35-20 KC. Sure, get your score predictions in if you want. Jesse saying KC. I like how Bosa the nose was all over the field. Okay. Michael says KC. Kevin says KC. Dale Webb. We got Lee saying KC. I'm not seeing a single Chargers pick. You'll love to see it. All right, we got a couple of mailbags today. Hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat. Those are the two ways to get your questions on the show. So use hashtag Chiefs and ask your questions. Right now, let's get a bunch in there. So producer Trace has plenty to choose from. Use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get your questions on the show. If you Super Chat, you can jump the line and skip the rest of the group to get your questions on first. All right, grade the defense against Arizona from yesterday. I think it was about an A-. Pretty damn good from Spagnola's group. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know. Grade the Chiefs' defense. Last year it was a problem. They shut down Kyler Murray for 3 quarters. Sure, the Cardinals added 2 garbage time touchdowns, but when it's 37-7, the defense is going to lax a little bit with backups in there. Jackson says A. B from JD. Brian says B. JJ says A. Kevin Power says B-. B+ from Hazel. Jake Healy says A. Achilles says A. A- from Mike. Michael Summerfield says B+. Jackson says A. He says most of the points and yards came when we already won. Yeah, it was all garbage at the end of the game. A+ from Timothy. B+ to A- from Don Luke. Terrence says B+. A from Dale Webb. B only because no INT. Yeah, they didn't get a takeaway, but if you're getting off the field, you're getting off the field. 7 points through 3 quarters against Kyler Murray. Pretty good. A1+ from U.S. Mail. Excuse me. Get those grades in. All right, let's get into the show here on a Monday. If you're ready for the show to start, like the video, hit the thumbs up icon. We've got over 90 people watching. Let's go. Hit that like button if you are ready for today's show to start, because coming up on today's show, we're going to get into the latest Chiefs reactions coming out of week 1, some winners and losers as well. So go ahead and hop on in there. Hit that thumbs up icon if you're ready for today's show to start. All right, let's get into it. Remember, hashtag Chiefs Super Chat. Get those questions in. We'll answer those questions later on in the show. It's Victory Monday for the Kansas City Chiefs, and on today's show, we got some winners and losers coming out of that win over the Arizona Cardinals. But before we get into it, sub for Chiefs dubs. Hit that subscribe button. We got daily Chiefs videos that are 100% free of the latest news, rumors, Overreaction Monday, live shows on game days and on Mondays as well. Hit that subscribe button. Join us here on the Chiefs Report every single day. If you want to find Chiefs videos on the daily, this is your #1 stop here on YouTube. All right, so welcome into the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. I am Harrison Graham. On today's show, we got some winners and losers to break down against the Arizona Cardinals. Hint, hint, when you win 44-21, it's mostly going to be winners. And if you missed it, this was an absolute bludgeoning by Kansas City as Patrick Mahomes went off. 360 yards and 5 touchdowns. The defense was locked in, especially those first 3 quarters, racing out to a 37-7 lead. A lot of receivers got the ball. It was fun to watch Kansas City go on the road and do their thing. And hey, maybe they'll return to Arizona this season. You know why? Because that's where the Super Bowl is in February. You want to be back out at State Farm Stadium later in February. So Chiefs were able to win 44-21, controlled the Cardinals from start to finish. The offense looked unstoppable, and the defense looked much improved. And with all that being said, we got some winners and losers to break down from this game, so let's go ahead and jump on into it. We'll go to some winners first here. Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback. He's just such a special player. I mean, we're running out of superlatives at this point. Just look at the numbers. 30 of 39, 365, 5 touchdowns, no picks. Like, what else do you have to prove if you're Patrick Mahomes at this point? All offseason, I don't know. Tyreek's gone. You know, he may not be the same. Things are going to look a lot different. The Chiefs' offense did whatever the hell they wanted for 4 quarters. Mahomes could have thrown for 500+ and 8 touchdowns, and they could have scored 60+ points. I'm serious. It was that clinical. The only time they got stopped was when Juju fumbled the ball, and Arizona was able to recover it. But this was such a dominant performance by this offense and by this quarterback. It was clinical. And by the way, they missed a couple throws downfield to an open McCole Hardman, so it could have even been worse for Arizona. Patrick Mahomes is locked in. He's going to have a big year. I made my call last week that he's going to win MVP, and now it's time for you guys to make your call. You guys have seen a game. It's one game, but I want to know, will Patrick Mahomes win MVP this year? Type Y for yes, type in for no. We'll make this the pinned comment on today's show, so sound off in the comments during this YouTube ad break. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, our next winner here on the Chiefs Report after a Week 1 win over the Arizona Cardinals. Listen, big year for CEH. Year 3, he's had some injuries. He's been underwhelming at times, but they finally did something I've been waiting for them to do. They throw him the football, 2 receiving touchdowns. When he was coming out of LSU, his catching ability as a running back was one of the things that attracted me the most as a running back in the NFL. And they haven't done it much in his career. 2 receiving touchdowns, average 6 yards per carry as well. Only 7 carries, but for 42 yards, very efficient on the ground. I've been begging for this team to throw this guy the football. I mean, I just think when they drafted him in the first round, I was like, oh, they're going to throw to him a ton. He's going to run a ton. They're going to use him a bunch. And they haven't really treated him as a first-round player. Now, I've also said over the last couple of years that they should not have drafted him in the first round. That proved to be a reach. But you have drafted him. You might as well use him, right? And use him to his strengths. He can catch the football really well. I like this game from CEH. Hopefully it's something he can build on moving forward. Travis Kelce, our next week 1 winner. And it's kind of like Patrick Mahomes at this point. Most weeks you could put them in the winners category, but I am choosing to put him there this week because when you have 8 catches on 9 targets for 121 yards and a touchdown, that's almost a perfect day. I mean, only 1 target was not caught when he was being thrown at during this whole game. He was unstoppable. And again, what did we hear? Well, with Tyreek Hill gone, teams are going to key in on Kelce. It might slow him down a bit. No, Travis Kelce is still Travis Kelce. He's the most dominant force at the tight end position in this sport. He's a mismatch nightmare, and even if you key in on him, he can leverage you and just squeeze in between safeties and linebackers. We saw that one play where Mahomes timed the throw perfectly, threw it before he cleared the zone, and the ball's right here, and Kelce catches it in full stride. I mean, he's just such a special talent. 33 years old, more like 33 years young because he looks young despite getting up there in age. He's still Travis Kelce, and I expect that to continue throughout this season. More winners and losers to break down for you guys here in just a minute, but the Chiefs won yesterday, and guess who made money betting on the Chiefs? Your boy, Harrison Graham, and you guys can too. chatsports.com/ChiefsBet, promo code Chiefs125. Put down $100, you get $125 for free, and that is the way to do it. Plus, you look at the latest MVP odds. Getting close. Patrick Mahomes, second best odds, plus 600. You could have gotten him at plus 700 last week. He's moving up. Josh Allen's still the favorite there at plus 500. If you bet up $10 on Mahomes, you'd win 60 if he ends up winning it. I think that value is pretty damn good. chatsports.com/ChiefsBet, promo code Chiefs125. All right, a couple more week 1 winners, then we'll get to a few losers. L'Jarius Sneed, the cornerback. He looks good. He was great his rookie year, even though he got banged up with that collarbone injury. Last year, he was up and down, mostly good, but, had a slight sophomore slump, if you will, but still was good overall, especially for a 4th-round pick. This year, he looks ready to take off. 8 tackles, 1 sack, a TFL, a pass breakup. He's a guy you can play in the box and blitz him as a nickel guy. He can cover tight ends. He's a really good tackler. Great game for him. Really good grade from L'Jarius Sneed. You need your nickel back to be able to tackle, and he can do just that. I thought it was a really nice showing. All right, how about Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator? Listen, the Chiefs wouldn't say this out loud, but I think he came into the season a little bit on the hot seat because last year the defense just wasn't very good. They were pretty solid for a stretch in the middle of the year, but the first 8 games, the last few games in the playoffs, not that good overall. But through one game, this defense looks much improved. It really, really does. I think the Chiefs are going to be a lot better on defense this year. You add guys like Carlos Dunlap, who gets a sack. Trent McDuffie's helping in the back end. He did get banged up. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But you just look better overall. You're finally playing Nick Bolton and Willie Gay at linebacker full-time. Last year, they were hanging on to Anthony Hitchens. They should not have done that. This defense is going to be solid, I think. If they're top 15 in the NFL, hell, top 10, this team's going to be almost impossible to beat with how good the offense looks. Grade the Chiefs' defense against Arizona in this opener for the season. Type A, B, C, D, or F. I'd go A minus, maybe A minus because you didn't get any takeaways, but you hold Kyler Murray to 7 points through 3 quarters. You're doing something right. I'll go A minus for the Chiefs' defense. Let me know how you guys feel they did in the opener. All right, a couple of losers. Trent McDuffie, not because of his play. I actually thought he was playing pretty well in coverage before he got hurt, but he got hurt. Left with a hamstring injury. We'll see how severe it is as we progress throughout the week. With a quick turnaround game on Thursday, decent chance he won't play, I would guess, against the Chargers this week. But again, we'll have you monitored on the updated injury report. Obviously not great to see him go down, but the good news is when he was out there, he looked good. So when he's back and healthy, he should be a starter on this football team. Juju Smith-Schuster. Now, let me just say this with a caveat for all the losers. It's hard to find losers coming out of a game like this when you kick a team's ass, so take it all with a grain of salt. Juju overall actually played pretty solid. Had 6 catches for 79 yards on 8 targets. All those catches were in the first half. So at halftime, we're thinking, damn, he might have 100, 150 yards, but no catches in the second half. The reason I put him in the losers category is he did fumble twice and lost one of them. Ball security is important. I'm nitpicking here, but when you win by 23 points and you were up by 30 at one point, it's kind of hard to find negatives. But, you don't want to turn the football over, and especially put the ball on the ground twice. He lost one of them. So clean that up. Juju looks like a guy who's ready to have a big year. All right, how about this one? A little bit of a curveball. Remember, I'm having to dig deep here. Sky Moore fantasy football owners. Mitchell Renz, who's actually our Raiders Report channel host here at Chat Sports. If you want to type boo for boo the Raiders, you can. He asked me, should I start Sky Moore? I said, I wouldn't start him week 1. Let's see what he does. 1 catch, 30 yards. Looked good on the catch. Had a couple nice punt returns, but I did wonder. I was like, it's his first game. I think it's probably one of those deals where let's see how the Chiefs look, how much they play him, because they're going to mix and match at receiver. And I was right. If you start him in fantasy, PPR league, you would have gotten 4 points. So not great. Non-PPR would have only gotten 3. But we'll see what wide receiver looks like moving forward from a fantasy football standpoint. But obviously, hey, play Travis Kelce. That's what I did. All right, so there you go. Some winners and losers from week 1 against the Arizona Cardinals. If you missed the game, or if you missed any updates and want more, follow me on social media at HGramNFL on Twitter, as the Chiefs were able to knock off the Cardinals 44-21 in this season opening win. It was a dominant performance. It was a great win, and I expect that to carry over into week 2 for the Kansas City Chiefs, which brings us to this. Who you got in week 2? Type KC for the Chiefs. Type LAC for the Chargers. Who you got in this week 2 matchup? Let us know in the comments, and be sure to subscribe, because we will have a live Chiefs versus Cardinals Thursday night football watch party here on the Chiefs Report. So subscribe, turn on those notifications. We'll have you covered here on Thursday night. All right, we'll get some shout outs here. Ooh. Little allergies going on today. All right. Tony says KC. Kevin says KC. Dale Webb Jr. going with the Chiefs. So is David, Austin, Mike, JJ, Tony, Don Luke, Carl, Timothy, Daniel, Lee, Freddie, Tony, the Shaft. Kyle says LF. I don't know what that means. Michael says KC. Tony, we got Tom Hood, 3124. Kyle says KC. So, yeah, I feel good about this one. Home opener, Arrowhead's going to be rocking. Should be a fun Thursday night. All right, producer Trace is telling me we don't have enough questions. So use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get your questions on the show. For example, hashtag Chiefs. Should the Chiefs sign Odell Beckham once he's healthy? Whatever your question is, doesn't matter. Get those questions in, and we will answer it, as many of them as we possibly can. So load them up, and let's go ahead and answer some here on the Chiefs Report. What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Harrison Graham here for the Chiefs Report. We got another mailbag coming at you, so use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get your questions on the show. If you do Super Chat, you can jump the line. It's like the Fast Pass at Disney World, and we will get to your question right away. All right, let's start this mailbag with Steven. What's up with Mahomes' left wrist? So I guess he banged it up. It's his left wrist. I'm not too worried about it. We'll monitor that moving forward, but unless there's we found out there was a severe break or something like that, he's going to play. Maybe there's a slight sprain or a bruised wrist or something like that. Non-throwing hand, not really too concerned. Maybe it limits the amount of under center snaps. I don't know, but we'll keep an eye on it. But luckily, it's not his throwing hand like Dak Prescott. Gary Holland, do you think 3 tight end sets will help the offense this year? Yeah, I think we've already seen some of that. I told you guys Jody Fortson was going to be a player you'll see a lot in the red zone. His 1 catch came in the red zone where he caught a key first down and got tackled at about the 2. Couldn't quite get into the end zone, but was able to get a critical first down there. I think 2 tight end sets, 3 tight end sets, you're going to see some of that because it shows defenses different looks. And I think this team's going to be able to keep people off balance because they're going to be less predictable than they have been in the past. Jackson with a question. He says, if the Chiefs keep this run of form, can they go 17-0? Sure, if they play that good all 17 games, they'll have a chance because they played almost a perfect game. Now, I don't expect that to be the case. Sorry, guys. I've got some allergies today. But they're going to win a bunch because they're a damn good team and they have maybe the best player on the planet in Mahomes. And when you have that, you've got a chance every week. Would I predict 17-0? No. Do I think it's going to happen? No. If we're sitting here and it's 6-0, 8-0, 10-0, sure, we can revisit. I'm not going to overreact to one game. But what I will say is if they play like that, they're going to be almost impossible to beat by any team in the NFL, and that includes teams like Buffalo, the Bucs, whoever the other top teams are. That was a dominant performance against Arizona. J.D. Hollowell, how do you think Orlando Brown played? Good, fine. Nothing was glaring on the offensive line, so I thought he was good. I thought he was good overall. Dale Webb Jr., were you happy with the wide receiver core? Absolutely. McCole Hardman looked really good. Mahomes missed him a couple times downfield on what could have been a pair of extra touchdowns. I was glad to see him get rewarded with a touchdown late in the game because he earned one in that game. He looked really good. Juju, again, he fumbled twice, lost one, but overall he looked smooth. I thought him and Mahomes were on the same page. Justin Watson got banged up with a chest issue, so we didn't get to see much of him. But all in all, pretty good. I think we'll see Sky Moore a little bit more moving forward. MVS had 4 catches. So, yeah, they spread the wealth around, and it looked pretty good. Corn Kid, it's got the juice. It's got the juice. McCole Hardman looked good, like I just said. He was open a lot. I agree, Corn Kid. Could the Chiefs extend him before the season is over? It's possible. He's a free agent after this year. I kind of expect that to lurk into the offseason, and then the Chiefs will make a decision. But if the price is reasonable, I'd like to bring him back. I think he can be a good player here for a while. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I don't think he'll ever be a number 1 type or even a special type, but he does have special speed, and that is valuable to have within an offense. What do you guys think? Will McCole Hardman be back next year? Type Y for yes, type N for no. We'll make this a pinned comment on today's show, so go ahead and reply right there, Y for yes or N for no. J.D. Hollowell, what does Isaiah Pacheco need to do to become RB1? Honestly, keep doing what he's doing. He played great in the opener. Now, a lot of it was when the game was out of reach, but he ran hard, got his first NFL touchdown. I think CEH looked really good, though. He deserves to be RB1 for now, but Pacheco's going to keep playing. They're going to keep rotating these guys. McKinnon had a couple of nice plays. You've got a really good 1-2-3 punch there. You really do. CEH, McKinnon, Pacheco, they can all play a role. If CEH plays like this all year, I think we'll feel a lot better about him than we did through 2 seasons. Dale Webb Jr., were you happy with the... Oh, we answered this one. Yeah, feel good about the receivers, Dale. Appreciate the question. PS4, how will the banged-up offensive line fare against the Chargers' dominant pass rush? Khalil Mack, 3 sacks on Derek Carr. That's tough. It's going to be a tough matchup, but I do think the Chiefs' offensive line is equipped to perform well, but you got Bosa and Mack over there. Yeah, it's those guys are going to get opportunities. The good news is you have one of the most escapable quarterbacks in the league as well, in Patrick Mahomes. He can avoid sacks about as well as anybody, especially compared to a guy like Derek Carr. So, there's going to be moments where they're in the backfield some, I'm sure. There's also going to be moments where Orlando Brown and these guys hold up. Andrew Wiley at right tackle, that's probably the weak spot that the Chargers are going to try to exploit. We'll see what the Chiefs try to do to counteract that. The Shof, let me know. The Chafe, do you think teams are going to blitz the Chiefs like Arizona did? I think blitzing Kansas City is insane, personally. Last year when the Chiefs had the most trouble is when teams literally dropped 8-9 into coverage and just played heavy gap zone. So I would not blitz Kansas City if I were opposing teams. Every team has different philosophies, but I think the teams that have had the most success have not blitzed and they've played heavy zone coverage and hope to get pressure with their front 4. Appreciate the questions. Continue to load them up. Hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat. We'll get to some more here in a moment. But are you a real one? If you are, type real one in the comments and get a real one t-shirt. Got one right here. Chatsports.com/realkc. Basically, a real one means you love the Chiefs. You love the Chiefs Report. You're a fan of what we do here at Chat Sports. And the audience, you guys are real ones because we couldn't do this for a living without your support. So, hey, if If you want to rep Chat Sports, you want to rep the Chiefs Report, get a Real One t-shirt right now. Links in the comments and the description, chatsports.com/RealKC. Jose B, what's the status on Trey Smith? Got banged up, came back in. We'll see. Seemed minor, but we'll have to monitor that as we go forward here. Davi LA, how do you think Juju played? How about CEH? Thought Juju looked good. Again, I don't love the fumbles, but in terms of running routes, getting open, making catches, he looked good. CEH, one of the better games he played. I know he only had 42 rushing yards, but it was on 7 carries. He averaged 6 yards a carry, and he caught 2 touchdowns. Something I've been begging for this team to do is throw him the football. So those two look like guys that are going to contribute heavily this year, and that is a really, really good sign. Who do you guys think is the biggest threat in the AFC West for Kansas City? Type LAC for the Chargers, type DEN for the Broncos, type LV for the Raiders. Biggest threat in the West for KC? I think it's the Chargers. Thursday night will be a good test. Let me know what you guys think down below. And be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because I will be live for a Chiefs versus Chargers watch party this Thursday night. If you want more Chiefs content leading up to that game, the latest news, rumors, game recaps, live shows, and more, this is your #1 stop for Chiefs coverage here on the internet. So hit that sub button. It's free. No one's going to have you covered like we do here on the show. Got time for a few more. Michael Irwin, what happened to Trey Smith? Just got banged up a little bit. As we're filming this live, I'll see if there's an update, but I think he's good, honestly. So, yeah, questionable with an ankle injury in that game, but I think he's going to be okay. We'll have a more tangible update later in the week. Tony Fuentes, will the Chiefs be fully healthy this Thursday? I mean, you know, you might be down Trent McDuffie. We'll see how Harrison Butker's ankle responds after he got nicked up. We'll see how Trey Smith responds after his ankle got nicked up. But we'll see. I mean, you know, pretty much once week 1's done, you're never fully healthy. But all things considered, this team's pretty healthy, which is a really good sign. Appreciate all the questions here on the Chiefs Report. If you have more and we didn't get to them on this video, well, I'm on social media. Hit me up at HGramNFL on Twitter, at HGramNFL on Instagram. Same handle, different platform. You can ask me your Chiefs questions over there at HGramNFL. Give me a follow. Ask me your questions. I'll hit you back just as soon as I can. And appreciate all the love that we're getting here on the Chiefs Report. All right, let's get some shout-outs here. Biggest threat in the West. Dale Webb says, nobody. Nobody's a threat. Let's see. LAC from Timothy. JD says the Chargers. So does Mike, Brian, Davy LA, David. All going with the Chargers. Not seeing Denver or the Raiders yet. Tony. The Shaft saying Chargers. I'm not seeing anyone else. Thought we might see a few Broncos. Let's see. HD Chiefs fan says LAC. Got Comp saying LAC. Be sure to load up more questions, guys. Hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat. Working through some stuff here. Trey's trying to get some more questions up. We'll get to another mailbag in a moment. Hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat if you want to get your questions on the show. Let's see. We got Dale Webb saying AFC West belongs to the Chiefs. Damn right. Austin going with the Chiefs. Comp says LAC, biggest threat. HD Chiefs fan says LAC. Chargers, and I feel Denver may be overrated. We'll see. We'll see. Denver plays tonight. We'll get to watch them up close in prime time against Seattle. Now, Seattle sucks, so I don't know how much we'll learn from this game. It's just not pulling. How are you getting the other ones? It's like Tony just put one in. Just none of them are pulling. That's just not. Which one is that? Who had that one? Huh. I don't know. Hashtag Chiefs, Super Chat. Is it a capitalization thing? Keep loading your questions, guys. We're going to try to get to them. We're We're having a software problem for a second here. Dale Webb, make sure you're spelling Chiefs right too. YB says, imagine if the Seahawks win and they will be the only team with the win in their division. That would be epic if Seattle wins. That's crazy. If Seattle loses tonight, NFC West starts 0-1 across the board. That's pretty wild. Don Luck with the question coming in as well. A few more coming in. All right, I think we're good to go. So it is mailbag time. Continue to load up those questions. Hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat. If you want to get your questions on the show, I'll answer some for about 10, 12 more minutes, and then we will call it a day here at the Chiefs Report. So let's get it going. Appreciate Timothy, Tony, everyone in there. Here we go. Mailbag time coming up. Mailbag time here on the Chiefs Report. I am Harrison Graham, ready and eager to answer more questions here on the show. So use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat. That way producer Trace can pull up all of your questions on today's mailbag video. All right, hashtag Chiefs, here we go. Let's get it started. We've got Don Luke with the question here. How about butt kicker? I've never seen a 1.5 step approach for a field goal. That was pretty impressive. So if you don't know what he's talking about, Harrison Butker left with an ankle injury to his left ankle in that game against the Cardinals, came back, and then he was like one step in field goals. He had a 54-yarder while only taking one step before the kick. He's got a rocket for a right leg. I wonder if he'll play, but Justin Reed will keep doing kickoffs while that left ankle heals a little bit. That'll be something to monitor over the next few weeks. But, yeah, we know how good he is. He's a special kicker. There's no doubt. Anuj, do you think the AFC West hype dies off if Denver and Las Vegas don't live up to potential? I definitely could see that. But I still think this division's good. I mean, the Raiders did not play well yesterday, and they still hung with the Chargers. I think Denver's going to be a good team still. So, yeah, I mean, it's 1 week. We're barely into the season here. But, yeah, I mean, it's possible that one or two of these teams don't live up to the hype. Happens every year. Teams always come short of expectations. Other teams outperform expectations. We'll see how the AFC West shakes out here in a couple months. Who is the biggest threat in the AFC West to the Chiefs? Type LAC for the Chargers, type DEN for the Broncos, or you can type LV for the Raiders. Get your votes in. Curious what you guys think here on this one. Ice Mori, do you think if the Chiefs sign a good defensive end this offseason, then they should trade their picks for a better receiver? Like trade up in the draft to draft a receiver, or just trade picks to trade for a receiver? I don't know. I like this receiving core right now. Now, Juju's going to be a free agent, obviously, so you'll have to make a decision there. But I could see the Chiefs drafting a receiver high or swinging big for a big receiver. But I think right now the depth is actually pretty good. You've still got Travis Kelce. He's going to be good for a few more years. So we'll see. That'll be something to keep an eye on after this season. David B., what's the point of selecting a Chiefs wide receiver for fantasy? I can understand Kelce, but they already said they're going to spread things around. Yeah, I'll be honest. In my fantasy league, I did not draft a Chiefs receiver because I think, 1 week it's going to be Juju having a big game. It's going to be Hardman in 1 week. It's going to be Sky Moore. I think it's going to be too hard to predict. I think Juju's the one guy that was worth picking because I think he's got a chance to be the most consistent. But I'm with you. I took Travis Kelce in my league, and I stayed away from all other Chiefs. Dale Webb Jr., do you think they still need help on the defense? For one game, I'm pretty impressed, to be honest. A pass rush looks good. Dunlap had a sack. Karlaftis is going to be a good player. Frank Clark made a couple plays. Chris Jones on the stat sheet didn't show up, but he was wrecking the game from the interior. So let's see. I like the linebackers. Juan Thornhill looked good, so there wasn't a glaring weakness through one game. So we'll see moving forward. But right now, I think they're in a good spot. Scott Frost, how's unemployment? Are the Chiefs or Bills the better team right now? He's probably telling me back, yeah, I just got $15 million on my buyout. Thank you very much. I am jealous of that, Mr. Frost. This is a tough one. I would still lean Kansas City because they have consistently won the big games over Buffalo over the last few years. But the Bills are damn good. I mean, through 1 week, these look like the two best teams in the NFL. So I'll let you guys decide. Try to be honest. Type KC for the Chiefs, type BUF for the Bills. I'll lean Kansas City, but I'd be lying if I said it's not close. I mean, Buffalo had 4 turnovers against the defending champion Rams and still kicked their ass. That speaks volumes. KC for the Chiefs, BUF for the Bills. Let me know, who do you guys think is the better team? Isaac Myers, how do you feel about Juan Thornhill? I thought he looked like he did his rookie year. Yeah, Thornhill looked great. He was flying around. He's fully healthy now. I thought he came on late last year. That's carried over into this year. He talked about it. He said he wants to be an all-pro this year. Him and McCole Hardman are on contract years. They're free agents after this year. So, hopefully Thornhill lives up to that billing that he set for himself. If he does, he's probably going to be a player worth bringing back because I thought he looked pretty damn good in week 1. Dale Webb Jr., our weekly sign Odell Beckham Jr. question. Listen, I like OBJ. I think he's good. I think he's going to monitor the landscape around the NFL and pick a contender that he thinks he can fit in with best. It's possible the Chiefs are that team. Good chance he goes back to the Rams. Allen Robinson did not look good through week 1, so they may want to bring OBJ back. He'll have suitors for sure once he's fully healthy. YB, do you think MVS will have a bigger game in week 2? I mean, 4 catches, 44 yards. I wouldn't say that's a bad game. I mean, he's not a guy that's ever going to be consistently, 8 catches, 90 yards or something like that. He historically in his career, he has like a really big game, and then he's quiet for a couple games. Then he has another big game because he's kind of a home run hitter. This first week, he was actually kind of in the middle. 4 catches, 44 yards, pretty decent game. So I do think he'll have bigger games throughout the year. Hard to predict when that'll be because he is such a home run threat. But that would be nice. If he could get behind the secondary in this game for a big touchdown, that would make a big difference. Brian Gales, who are your W number 2 players have to have a big game? I don't know what you're referring to. Maybe just your 2 players? I don't know what you mean by W number. I'll just guess big players that need to have a big game. I mean, I just wish I knew what you were saying, Brian. Try to clarify in the comments, and I'll try to answer that. But big players that need to play well is obviously Mahomes has to play well every week. Pass rush has to bring it, and Travis Kelce has to be that consistent guy. Through 1 week, he's been that. Luka Balavic, first, hello from Croatia. And second, do you think Pacheco would be number 1 running back in 2 to 3 years? Definitely possible, and welcome from across the pond. Appreciate you tuning in. Hell, he might take over this year's RB1, but Clyde Edwards-Helaire has gotten off to a good start here, so we'll see how that plays out. But Pacheco looks good, man. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, he can catch, he can hit the hole hard. It's a promising start for the rookie out of Rutgers. John Satterfield, so do you think we are going to have our defense for all our defense for the Chargers game? Hard to say. We'll have injury updates all week here on the channel. Depending on when you're watching this, we may have a clearer picture. But the healthier you're going to be, the better off you're going to be, because we know Justin Herbert can sling it. He's been able to put points on the Chiefs in the past. He's going to have a big year, man, and that's going to be fun to watch him and Mahomes duke it out. If you want to bet on this game or any other game, BetUS is the place to go. Chatsports.com/ChiefsBet. Promo code is Chiefs125. Put down $100, you get $125 for free. Both the quarterbacks for Chiefs and Chargers are in the latest MVP odds. Josh Allen leading the way at plus 500. Patrick Mahomes there at plus 600. Justin Herbert there at plus 700. And then you got Tom Brady. Lamar Jackson actually plus 1,200, left off a 0 there. But those are your updated MVP odds. And if you want to go bet on that or anything else, chatsports.com/ChiefsBet. Promo code Chiefs125. Dale Webb Jr., your week 2. Week 2. For week 2, let's see. I'll go players that need to step up this week. How about a little more from Sky Moore? Let's go a little more from Chris Jones and a little bit more from Jody Fortson. How about that? 3 players that need to step up this week. Rants on the Rocks with big monster year for Mahomes. Thoughts? I think so. I mean, week 1 threw for 360 and 5 touchdowns. He was unbelievable. I think he's going to have an unreal season. I mean, his week 1 stats in his career, he's 5-0, 18 touchdowns, no picks. That's absurd. Absolutely absurd. Tony Fuentes, I love the Chiefs Report. Going to get me a Real One t-shirt. If you want a Real One t-shirt, get one. Chatsports.com/RealKC. That is chatsports.com/realkc. We can flash the shirt real quick, Trace. We'll put it on screen for you guys. Chatsports.com/realkc. Pick one up today if you're a real one, if you love the Chiefs, if you love what we do here on the channel. Represent the family here. Chatsports.com/realkc. Link will be in the description and comments of this video. Carl Bailey, let's see. Their depth is stupid banana. Yeah, depth is great, man. They go deep on both sides. The defensive line added key depth, which was a concern for me in the offseason, but they added guys like Dunlap. Karlaftis is ahead of schedule. Michael Dana has improved as a player. So, yeah, I feel good about this roster right now. Hit that subscribe button here on the Chiefs Report because we bring you content on a daily basis, the latest Chiefs news, rumors, game recaps, watch parties, live shows on Mondays, mailbags on those live shows. A lot more stuff as well. We'll have a preview against the Chargers as well. So go ahead and subscribe to the Chiefs Report. Maury, do you think that when the Chiefs play the Chargers in November that J.C. Jackson will be a problem for Mahomes? Yeah, because he's probably not going to play in this Week 2 game. I mean, look, J.C. Jackson's a player that you have to know where he's at because he can take the ball away. I mean, define problem, like, is it going to shut Mahomes down? I wouldn't say that, but obviously it makes it tougher because he's a good cover corner. So, yeah, it'll be a little bit more challenging in that matchup. Luca again, how many sacks will Karlaftis have this year? I think I said before the year, 5 would be like a good rookie season, so let's go 5. Give me 5. That'd be a nice rookie year. Looked good in the preseason, made a couple plays in Week 1, so let's see how he holds up through 17 games. Final question here from Dale Webb Jr. Did the Chiefs sign Danny Shelton to the practice squad? Yes, he's on the practice squad. We'll see if he gets elevated at some point, but for now, that is where he is. So, you know, I thought he'd be on the active 53. For now, he is not. But you know, he's ready to go if someone gets hurt or if they just want to elevate him for a game day, they can certainly do that. All right, into the mailbag, into the video. That means it's roll call time. Comment real one down below if you're a real one, if you love the Chiefs, and if you made it to the end of the video. That makes you a real one. Type real one down below. I'll be reading your comments on today's Chiefs Report. Get the real ones flowing down below. All right. Well, appreciate you guys tuning in. Carl Bailey says real one. JJ, Tony, Dale Webb, Michael Irwin. We got David. We got Ricky. Ice Maury says real one. Appreciate the real ones for hanging out today. 175 people watching. John says real one. No loop today. We'll just go ahead and sign off here on the Chiefs Report. Hit that sub button. We'll have content leading up to Thursday Night Football against the LA Chargers. Should be a good one. I'll have a live watch party for that. So join us then, and also join us the next couple of days. We'll have videos on the channel. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'm signing off here on the Chiefs Report.